everyone. Thanks for being here today. I'd like to talk to you about buying a dog through a pet shop versus buying a dog through a breeder or through a shelter. I want to discuss why it's better to get a dog from different means other than a pet shop. From a reputable breeder would be good, or to, like I said, adopt from a local shelter. I worked in the shelter field for over 10 years before I got a job at a vet clinic, and I've worked at the vet clinic now for 15 years. I have done temperament testing as well as worked with rescue coordinators in regards to getting dogs in and out of the shelter, and as well as an adoption counselor. What if you knew the true story behind pet stores and where they get their dogs from? Would it change your mind in regards to getting a dog through a breeder or through a local pet shop? Or I'm sorry, not a local pet, local rescue. What goes on behind closed doors? A lot of people don't know. They don't realize where a lot of these dogs come from. Have you ever heard of puppy mills? Well, puppy mills are technically commercial breeding facilities. They breed for quantity, not quality. Often these dogs are shoved into small cages. They're sick. They're bred until they can't be bred anymore. A lot of these dogs end up in pet stores. By the end of this presentation, you will wonder how these places are even allowed to stay open. To give you an example, in one case when I worked at the shelter, I was called out with the humane officer to a local pet store under complaints of the staff were filing complaints that the owner was actually putting puppies in the freezer to kill them when they were sick. Instead of spreading it or even taking them to the vet, they euthanized them that way. The owner eventually closed the store, but they sold the business to another relative, and they continue to sell these puppies through the facility or through their store. Let's see here. So puppy mills in general, their breeding stock, like I said, are bred regardless of illness or injury until they can't be bred anymore, and then they're discarded like trash. Many of these dogs, like I said, are sick and starving. These places are filthy, full of disease, with little to no human interaction. According to the Humane Society of the United States, there are estimated 10,000 puppy mills in the United States, and about 2.02 million of these puppies are sold yearly through pet stores. And and about 25% of these dogs end up in the shelter or through a local rescue association. According to the ASPCA, most of these puppy mills flourish in the Midwestern states where there's little to no policing by the USDA. These states are Arkansas, Indiana, Iowa, and even Wisconsin and Illinois. Surprisingly, the reason these places are allowed to stay in business is because of the minimal requirements the USDA allows to house and sell commercial breeding animals. Pet shops prey on the human heart. They utilize what I would like to call the awe factor. Their goal is to sell you a product without regards to where it came from or where it may end up. Because of this, many end up in the shelter or are rehomed because the buyer wasn't prepared for what certain breeds do require. They offer the convenience of financing, often for double what you would pay through, like I said, through a shelter or even through a reputable breeder. A reputable breeder is someone that actually breeds for the better of the breed. They want to improve the breed rather than just make $1 on it. A lot of times they will often take their dogs back if it's not working out, or if you need to find a new home for the dog. That is a reputable breeder. A reputable breeder will do health clearances, and they give you a health guarantee on that dog. Many of the breeders, like I said, will offer to take the dogs back if it doesn't work out. Some breeders do require a dog to be spayed or neutered if they're not going to be just a family pet, or if they're going to be just a family pet. These are ethical breeders who want to promote the better of the breed. There is a lot of information on the website paws.org on how to research and pick a family member. They made a good point in regards to puppy mill facilities flooding the market with, which thereby takes away homes from shelter animals that could have, these shelter animals could have been placed in. Adopting from the shelter not only gives you an animal a home, or gives an animal a home, but also opens up room for other animals to have that same chance. So instead of buying a puppy from a pet store, please take a look at the animal shelter first. There are often wonderful dogs and puppies that need homes as well. Please remember also, always keep in the back of your mind that this is a living animal. They are not a product or an object. They have thoughts, they have feelings, they have pain, and they suffer just as much as people do. When looking for a family pet, keep in mind these are meant to be part of the family, not tied up in the yard, not a protection dog. They are meant to be part of the family. I know some people want to rescue these dogs from the pet stores, but in doing so, we continue to give the commercial breeders a reason to keep breeding. So please adopt, or if you want a purebred animal, look for a reputable breeder. They are out there, not a backyard breeder, but a reputable breeder. Thank you, everybody, for being here.